Hey guys, staying on the topic of fear and courage and change because we all need that energy right now. I'm bringing in today the works of Florence Scovel Shinn. And I would say a couple years ago, I went through and listened to all of her books on audio. They were just so affirmative, and it made you want to switch your belief systems around and believe that you can do anything. And it's fascinating because the book that I'm going to read from chapter 1 of The Game of Life and How to Play It. This is actually 4 books in one. It's The Game of Life and How to Play It, Your Word is Your Wand, The Secret Door to Success, and The Power of the Spoken Word. So she actually wrote this, I believe, this book in 1925, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And I only dipped into the first chapter. And honestly, it was just like, I remember why I was so addicted to listen to her work on audio. Wow. It really makes you feel like all that's missing is the way that your brain is wired to believe that this world should appear in front of you. So I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to dip right into some of the things I highlighted from this first chapter coming through. And she said, and a lot of times she refers to the Bible because back in the 1920s, there were a lot of Christians. If you want to reach people and try to show them the light within, if you can in any way relate the Bible to it, it will open up this avenue for people who are closed in that type of belief system to say, oh, wait, maybe this can work for me too, because Jesus did it. That's okay. That's okay, because sometimes, that's somebody's role, right? So for instance, I have a copy of all the books that got removed from the original Bible. And a lot of this stuff in there is how not just Jesus, but other characters, light workers back in those times were actually trying to show people their own power and shine their light. And it wasn't all it wasn't all what they say it was, right? But we know that about history anyways. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that in a lot of her writing, she would refer to the Bible just to reinforce that to people that their power is within. Look here, it even says this in this book that you swear is the end all be all, right, of how you should live your life. Even though we all know deep down, we all have our own journey and our own path and our connection to our own highest self, right? So all the answers are inside, which is what Jesus was trying to say. But why not make up an entire religion? So make people worship something or someone else instead of going inside of themselves and realizing that power and connection to the universe is inside and can be expressed in the most unique way, because nobody else is this character that you decided to come in and be. Nobody else is that. That's what makes you unique. That's what helps the universe expand, is the fact that you are so different. So why would we want to fit inside a box? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And that's what a religion and all that, that's why it's caused so much harm, because we try to fit in a box. And if somebody doesn't fit in that box, then blasphemy and put them on the freaking, burn them at the stake, right? It's crazy. It's crazy how humans have mentally, psychologically, emotionally developed over time and carried on generational curses, etc., etc. But now we don't have to hide Florence Scovel Shinn behind Christianity and Nostradamus back when Dolores Cannon did the Conversations with Nostradamus, when she channeled him back in time in the mid 1500s or late 1400s. I can't remember exactly. She literally had to keep in mind that she was talking to somebody who was alive during a time period where the patriarchy was roaring. And so his perception and the fact that he was connecting to someone in the future that was a woman was even off to him. It was interesting because his character came through literally as the avatar and character who was in that culture at that time. I love Dolores Cannon's books, Conversations with Nostradamus. I swear I can say his name. because it was like such a cool read. I probably read them 3 or 4 times, and I bring them up all the time because it was fascinating on different levels. Like, it was like you can't make this shit up kind of vibe. And that was part of it. He was kind of like a smart ass when she channeled him too. He was just like a little pompous, like just by the mere fact that he was talking to a woman, right? But, you know, he had no he didn't know how to, no sense of context of what it would be like in 1980s. I think that's when she channeled it. What it would be like to talk to a woman from the 1980s. What a culture shock that would be. So that communication, it wasn't negative, but it was just like you could see the difference, right? Anyways, that's another tangent. I get excited about stuff like that. Okay, so Florence Scovel Shinn was saying, Jesus Christ taught that it was that it was a great game of giving and receiving. Why we come into this life. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall reap, that he shall also reap. This means that whatever a man sends out in word or deed will return to him. What he gives, he will receive. So it's not just about what you do, it's about what you say. Now, she didn't say it's about what you think, but it damn well is about what you think too. It's your belief systems. And she goes on to talk about your belief systems and your thoughts and all that. But, so what he gives is what he receives. And that's what they were telling us back in those ancient texts. And that's what she's reiterating in a time period where people, that's just such a foreign concept. It's such a black and white way to be in life during those times. And it was really toxic, right? So there are 3 departments. This was also very interesting to me. There are 3 departments of the mind. Her description of it, especially, this is back in the 1920s, right? So the 3 departments of the mind are the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. So it's like steam or electricity, and it does what it is directed to do. It has no power of induction. Whatever man feels deeply or images clearly is impressed upon the subconscious mind and carried out in the minutest detail. Okay, so then the conscious mind, that's been called the mortal or carnal mind. It's the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitation of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious. The third department of the mind is the superconscious mind. It's the God mind within each man, and it's the realm of perfect ideas. When I read that, I loved it because that's what it is when you're connected to Source. You are in this energetic realm of receiving literally the perfect ideas for you, made for specifically for your soul. That's what that superconscious mind is. It's connection to your higher self. It's expansion. It's belief. It's belief, higher belief in oneself and in the universe. It's faith that is so next level. I'm getting, this last thing is just, okay. So she says, why are ye fearful, O ye have of little faith? That's Matthew 8:26. So we can see we must substitute faith for fear, or for fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good. So fear is faith in evil instead of good. That says so much. That says in any given moment, you're projecting energy. And whenever you're projecting energy in fear, that's where your faith is. Your faith is in that fear. Whenever you're projecting energy that is positive, optimistic, open-minded, you're putting energy in that direction, in expansion, right? So that was such a huge, yes, whenever you are in fear, you're putting your faith into evil instead of good. You're putting it into something that is not going to expand you, but contract you. Just a second, guys. Piper. Come here, baby. It's okay. So, yeah. So why are we sitting around putting our faith into evil? Because literally anything that goes against you and your being the highest version and your peace and your joy and maintaining and expanding in a higher frequency, that's evil. It's not for you. All it is to suppress you and hold you back, hold you in old stale timelines. And so what we really have to do is come to a more conscious understanding, because that's what helped me the most. The more I understood something, the easier it was for me to start to rewire a different perspective in my brain about whatever that said thing was. So rewiring our brains means that we have to be open to like different perspectives. We have to be open to anything that could be new and expansive, but maybe that we're a little hesitant or insecure about, which would be which one example of that would be just stepping onto a different timeline, making new decisions, switching your job, leaving a toxic environment, whatever it looks like for you. Those are the things that, need addressed, need to be acknowledged first. I think sometimes we don't even want to acknowledge those things that we don't want to change, because the minute we acknowledge them, we admit that we actually do have to do something about it. And then we actually have to do the thing. Like the action needs to be put in place, right? And for a lot of people, that's a big, scary thing. That could be a big, scary conversation with a boss or a parent. That could be like going to court to cut the connection of a court, like owning a home together or a divorce, or because of children involved. Like there's so many different things that we're allowing our energy to focus on that are just like keeping us stuck, because we don't have that excess energy to put into this new version of ourselves, to put into this new timeline. And why don't we? Because we have that energy being focused and projected in the same old still timeline that we're still in, and using our time to hang out with the same old people that keep us in those low toxic environments, right? And whatever those fine details are for you, insert them into whatever your scenario is, right? Because it's different for everyone. I just throw some examples out there. But really, our belief system is critical. It is everything. And so if your energy is not being put towards good, your faith isn't being put towards good, your belief system, then it's being put towards the opposite of that. And I think when we come into that awareness, we're like, dude, like even with food, like think about food. Like if you're not eating healthy and you're eating potato chips and junk food all the time, guys, I'm just as guilty. That's energy putting in a toxic direction. And do we really want to take accountability? Then we might actually have to stop eating it, right? And that's a light example, but not a light example, because we, as a culture, have normalized poisoning ourselves. And like, we literally celebrate with toxic food. Like we do it all. And it's okay. It's where we're at as en masse, right? And we have to be easy on ourselves about it. But if you're serious about your expansion, if you're serious about, wanting to be the highest version of you, then you got to get real, right? You got to get real with yourself about the things that need change. And we all have things that need change. Not one human being in this world is exempt from expansion. Because like I said before, it's infinite. Expansion is infinite. There will never be a time where you're done with the healing. You're done with the work, right? So I just love that. I'm going to read it again. We must substitute faith for fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good. And then she had one more verse that I thought that was powerful from the Bible, that is showing us basically law of attraction and energy. It's death and life are in the power of the tongue. And it's talking about the words you speak carry energy. And if whatever you put out in that universe will either be death or life. Are you poisoning yourself or are you giving yourself life? Are you expanding? And we really have to ask ourselves those questions. And a lot of times we don't, because we're so distracted, go, that we aren't thinking about any of that, when really that should be top priority until it's baseline default frequency, where you've rewired your brain to the point where it just naturally reacts in that more positive, faithful, expansive way, you know? And that's what's of the highest good for you. That's what's of the highest good for the people around you, for your children, for your partner, for who you work with, maybe, whatever it is for you. But I think, as a collective of light workers who have good hearts and good intentions, want to be that highest version, so we can come here and really expand and feel good and milk this freaking life for all it is. Like, because it's great. But when you get stuck in lower timelines and lower frequencies, it doesn't feel so great. And you can get in those places where you just don't want to be here anymore. And don't allow those dark, deep moments to break you. Use them. Like, once you get to a certain point where you've rewired your brain and you're in that crying on the bathroom floor moment, and you're like, I know what this is. And guess what I do in those moments? Which I have few and far between now, but I went through a lot of them for a long time when I first started my ascension journey. But when I have those moments now, I don't get into these places where it gets so dark I don't want to be here anymore. I will get into a dark place and be like, it's okay. This is all coming up to be cleared. Like, you're doing a great job. Like, love yourself like you would love one of your best friends sitting there on the bathroom floor crying, right? Or how you would console someone else or a child. Like, love yourself on that level, because that's how you nurture and take care of yourself. That's also how you expand. How you feel is how you measure your vibrational frequency. So expansion, belief, desire, and just, you can do anything. Me and my brother were just talking about this yesterday. You literally could levitate, fly, do anything. It really is energy. And that's why some people can levitate. And we've seen evidence of that. And it's like, oh, it's like not that levitation's the end all be all, but it's that one thing that's a really challenging belief system to actually crack. Because all this physical evidence around us tells us that we can't. So it just goes to show you how powerful the mind and the brain and energy and frequency, and how powerful it is, and how we're interconnected with everything around us. And we use what's around us. Like, they say we can only see so much in front of us in terms of the light spectrum. Like, there's things in this room I can't see right now with my physical eyes. I'm incapable of seeing it with my physical eye, right? But then if we reach certain frequencies, things might phase in and out, right? Things might phase in and out of our reality. That happens to people who, physical mediums specifically. And so if you're in maybe you're doing psychedelics or something like that, that shifts your frequency and gives you access to those realms where you can see things that you normally couldn't see, right? So anyways, guys, I'm just going off on some tangents, but at the end of the day, we have to really focus in on where our faith is being put, because we can put faith into things that are negative. We can put our energy and focus into things that are actually depleting us. And those are the things that we have to let go of. 99% of the time, those are the things that we have to let go of in order to create that space to build new. So I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.